Hey guys, welcome to my budgeting video for my November 5th paycheck. So normally I feel a little bit bad that my budget is so simple and boring and that these videos are so simple and boring with the math. There's no kind of chaos or insanity happening with my budget. Well, that isn't what's happening this week. This week is so chaotic that I'm not even sure that I've kept track of everything and my brain hurts. So let's give this a try and see if I can't make it work. My balance in my account is $1,874.58, but that's not real. My parents very kindly gifted me $500, which is amazing, to go towards an expense that I have, and I don't know where to put the money, so that like all my other accounts are like dedicated to specific sinking funds. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really sure where to move the money to get it out of this account, and it's making me nervous having it in this account because it's me and I might accidentally forget what it's there for and spend it. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what to do with that, but for now I just have to calculate it out and try. So money from mom and dad. Okay, so then the next thing is part of rent, which I somehow managed to forget to pay again, and got an email from my landlord on the 2nd of November being like, rent money? I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. I'm never that person that just doesn't pay the rent or forgets, and yet this is like the second time in 3 months or something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna blame stress. I'm just gonna start blaming stress for things. Okay. Student loan. And then my savings challenge. Now I know so far you're like, what's the big difference? It's the same old boring thing as always, but trust me, we're getting to it. And then set aside for mom and dad housekeeping, the $50. Okay, so last paycheck I took my gas money and the money for my groceries and like my food and other category, and I put them onto my Wealth Simple card so that I could keep this money I was going to be spending separate from like any leftover money in the account, in the hopes of not accidentally overspending, because it's like dealing with cash. I have X amount in this one specific account that's connected to one specific card, and once it's gone, it's gone. However, I ran into the dilemma, the physical card was giving me trouble. Now, if I was tapping my phone on something, so if I was in a store, like in a Safeway or something, 9 times out of 10, I was fine. The times I wouldn't be would be because their system would be reading the card as a debit, but I was under the impression it was considered more of a Visa, and so different store systems think of it different ways or like react to it different ways. So I had to figure out which stores do I call it a Visa and which stores do I call it a debit, which is fine. I can handle that. But I could not get the actual physical card to work at a gas pump, and I don't go into gas stations anymore because I don't like dealing with humans. So yeah, like the first time I couldn't get the card working and it kept saying incorrect PIN, and I was like, that's weird, because I would have sworn I've used the card before, but somewhere where I could tap it. And then when I got home and I checked the app, it was saying the first time you go and actually insert the card and have to type in a PIN number, it'll say incorrect PIN, and you have to do it 3 times, and then that kind of sets the card. But because I didn't know that, I tried the pin I was sure it was, and then it said incorrect, and then I tried it again, and then it said incorrect. And when I should have tried it a third time, I figured maybe I put it as something else. So I kind of picked my backup pin, and of course it didn't work. So I did not set the card. So I ended up using my Visa card for payment for gas that time. And then after I learned that from the app, the next time I went to pay gas, I was all ready to go through the 3 tries with it, and it was going to be fine. And it wouldn't accept the card at all. It just denied it immediately. It didn't even give me a chance to put in a PIN number. So I don't know. I don't feel that I can rely on being able to use that card for payment at gas stations, since in 2 weeks I wasn't able to make it work once. And I'm not really sure if I can tap my phone at the pump. I'm just realizing now, like, there is a little thing with the little symbol, so maybe I should try that one time just to see. But the point is, right now I don't feel that I can trust it. So the gas money, all of that rambling to say that gas money, I'm still obviously like taking it out of the budget so that I know how much money I have left, but I'm not actually going to be physically removing it from this bank account because it doesn't work. So I ended up putting 3 separate gas transactions onto my Visa card over the last 2 weeks because I couldn't figure out how to put them from the card that I wanted to be using since it wouldn't work. And that totaled up to $234.91 added onto my already being used and unhappy Visa card, which does not make for a happy Heather. So there's that. I've added more debt to the credit card. But because I was able to use the card for things like food and other and whatnot, what I've decided to do is this week's budget, I'm not taking out the food and other category because the money that's remaining on that Wealthsimple account is just all going to be reclassified as food and other, and it'll actually see me through the next 3 weeks, theoretically. I mean, it should, unless something crazy happens. So that's how I'm balancing it out. In the math, I don't know if that makes sense, but in my head it kind of makes sense, or at least it did when I was figuring this out. And also this week I had my tenant insurance go out, so I have that set to automatically charge onto my Visa card, just so that I don't have to worry about having the money transferred into the account for it to be withdrawn as a cash transaction on time, because it's me. Apparently I can't even pay rent on time, let alone a once-a-year bill. So that went onto the Visa card, and then I've already gone and taken the money from that sinking fund and paid it off, only to discover that I had extra money in that account. And I'm not really sure how. My best guess is because that sinking fund for my tenant insurance is also where I put when I pull off my rent money and store half of it at a go. And whenever there's a month where there's 3 paychecks, it always means that if I continue to do a half on each paycheck, I end up a half a paycheck ahead. So I had an extra $416.51 sitting in that account after I had paid my tenant insurance. I don't know. So what I've decided to do was $320, which is what I save per year for my tenant insurance, I'm keeping in the account, so I know, like, I don't have to adjust my sinking funds to add in a new amount of money being set aside for that sinking fund. Like, it's fully funded already. And then the remaining, which is $96.51, I'm taking $96 of it and putting it onto my Visa. Figured I might as well, keep the change in there. Yeah. So that's something that's happening. Yeah, so I've got $391.04 as my buffer, which is lovely. I have to put a chunk of that onto my Visa or my line of credit. See, this is where I get messed up when I have 2 types of debt that are very similar, like the Visa and the line of credit, because then I always get torn about which one do I make a larger payment on. So my line of credit, one of my friends who owed me money paid me back almost $600, so I immediately put that onto the line of credit. So technically I have made more than larger the minimum amount payment required for this billing cycle, for this billing cycle. So I don't actually have to make another payment on there, but I want to pay it off. But I also want to pay off the Visa. Oh, the problems. So I will probably eventually move the new Visa balance over to the line of credit, with the full knowledge that the Visa is now going to be getting used more frequently because Christmas purchasing season is upon us. I do my shopping early because I mail it all to Edmonton so that it's there by the time I get there, and I just have to spend a day wrapping presents and not having to fit everything into my suitcase and paying overweight charges. Plus, I like online shopping. More variety that way. But it does mean that the Visa card is going to get used because I don't have as much money saved up to go towards presents as I normally would at this time of the year because of other financial situations that I have managed to get myself in. I have decided that the $40 that usually goes into my gift sinking fund, and the $20 that usually goes in, no, sorry, it's $40 usually goes into my travel sinking fund, and $20 usually goes into my gift/dragon boating fees sinking fund every paycheck. I'm automatically taking that $60 every paycheck going forward for the next little while and just putting it as a Visa payment or as a line of credit payment if I move that Visa balance over. But right now on the Visa, I have, I think, like 6 payments that I've made on it that are all sitting there pending. And so I don't trust my math to figure out the balance of the Visa minus all those payments gives me X number remaining as a balance, and then just to transfer that amount over to the line of credit. So I'm going to wait until they've all processed through, which should be about 3 business days, see what the remaining balance is on the Visa, and then move that to the line of credit because the interest is much lower over there. And then I'm just going to have to figure out what to do with the Visa as I am Christmas shopping. Do I just keep funneling charges over to the cheaper line of credit, or try to only buy things, you know, like within my means, like a normal human? How weird would that be? I mean, I do have money in my present fund, but it's not going to cover everybody. I'd be lucky if it covers 2 people, and that's only if I'm being really frugal with the gifts. So there's that. Yeah, so I recalculated, but then didn't have to recalculate the sinking funds. The home insurance has been paid, both charged onto the credit card and then immediate payment being put on there. And then I just have money floating in between all these different accounts because I'm kind of pulling from here to put onto the Visa, or pulling from there to put onto the line of credit. And it looks so organized on this sheet because I'm just showing you the tidy part of it. But the page where I did, let me show you, I do like calculations in advance. And look at that. Do you see all that chaos? All that chaos. It's chaos. So yeah, I need to sort it out and write it on here tidy so I can keep track of everything I've done. I'm really regretting not having the organizer, the budgeting organizer that I've had all the other years. I tried a different version this year and I don't use it. I don't like it. The one I had previously had a built-in calendar for every month, and I don't know, I miss that calendar. It's such a silly little thing, but I really miss that paper calendar helping me to keep everything sort of on track. So I'm definitely going back to that style next year. But for now, it's just the chaos and me writing it onto the pad of paper. But yeah, maybe once I've written all the other stuff and sort of caught it all up, I will show you what it looks like as just like a quick little thing instead of me nattering through while I write it all down, because that'll be a long video. Yeah, okay, so this is my budget for this week. This is the part that looks all nice and tidy. I haven't, as you can see, put in the Visa payment yet because I have to figure out exactly how much I'm putting. It's probably going to be $200, but do I put it onto the Visa or do I put it onto the line of credit? I don't know. Actually, no, I do know. You know what? Let's just make a decision right now. We're going to go $200 and I'm going to put it to the line of credit. Because if I'm moving the balance of the Visa once those other transactions have processed through over to the line of credit anyways, I might as well just put a payment onto the line of credit and it'll all balance out in the end, right? I hope. Maybe. I don't know. Crossing fingers over here. I think I have it all. I think I have it all. Okay, I'll be back with a quick snapshot to show you all the other chaos in a little bit. Talk to you later, you guys. I hope you're having a much more sane budgeting session than I am this week. Stay safe out there. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Okay guys, I thought instead of a quick picture, I'll do another just hopefully quick video clip to sort of explain it all. So over here on the side, I've written down about the tenant insurance, how it went to the Visa, then I paid it with the sinking fund onto the Visa. and then how it's fully funded now for 2022, which is still kind of crazy to me. And the surplus is 96.51, and 96 of it I paid it to a Visa card. A Visa card, the Visa card. I only have one Visa card. And then the present dragon boating sinking fund had 145.29, and 145 of it has gone to a Visa payment. The present and travel sinking fund contributions, so $20 and $40 respectively. Anyway, $60 total per paycheck is going to be going to the Visa. And then a note about the Wealthsimple card balance, how much is on there, $157.50, and then I'm going to be using it for food and other going forward. And then down here, gonna nudge it a bit for you, are the sinking funds. So it's still showing it's never gone away, which is crazy, huh? The Tenant Insurance fully funded for next year, 2022. And then the sinking funds themselves. So once I'm not going to be showing this on camera anymore, I actually put the account numbers on the side to remember which one goes where, because I can't name the bank accounts. They only have numbers, and that means nothing to me. And then I'll put the confirmation code to the side once the payment has been put through. The travel and the presents, though, I'm just going to put a notation of no contribution this paycheck, because that money, like I said, I've already put it directly onto the Visa. I figure with that, like for the present one, at least for sure, it makes sense, since I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of Christmas shopping, and it's not going to keep me ahead of how much the charges are for the present shopping. But at least, I mean, it's where that money should be going anyways, to cover present shopping. And then for the travel, I have some money in there, not a ton. I don't really want to pull it out, just because I am going to Edmonton as long as, you know, COVID doesn't ruin my plans for Christmas. So I'd like to have some spending money for that, as well as I have a trip at the end of November. So the spending money, I want it to go towards one of those two trips. But I just figure I won't contribute any more to it right now, because better to be paying things down. So yeah, this is the total look of it all. I mean, not as crazy as the rough draft that I was doing. And once it's all nicely written out, I feel a little bit more in control and organized of the finances. Yay me, gold star, pat on the back, all of that. So yeah, this is the final product. Now I'm going to go and listen to Christmas music while I actually process through those payments for things, because that is the kind of weirdo that I am. Have a great couple weeks, you guys. Again, I know I've already said it, but stay safe out there. Be happy, all that jazz. I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye.